Welcome into the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty as we are on the road, headed up north to Seattle, where we look to get revenge off of last season's devastating loss to the Huskies. And this is a UW team that's sitting in almost the same exact spot as they were last year. They've lost some big games, including to number 7 Tennessee 49-28. They've then beat some teams more so expected. Washington State 41-28. They lost against Oregon State, bounced back with a big win against Arizona, got destroyed by the Bruins, the same team that we just destroyed last week. They then bounced back with a 28-24 win over Oregon, lost by only 6 points to currently number 1 ranked, the USC Trojans. They face us. We are currently ranked 3, and then Maryland ranked 4. If they want to bounce back this season, well, again, we sit with a prime opportunity for them to do so. One big difference from this year compared to last year is we'll be going against Ian Bayless, the redshirt freshman quarterback, as Keon Akbar is out with an injury. He played a very good game last year. Unfortunately, he tore some cartilage in his knee and will be out for 2 more weeks. So in his stead will be Bayless, the former 5-star recruit out of Sammamish, Washington. He is a Washingtonian, an elite dev guy with a lot of really good caps. He will be a problem for the Pac-12 in years to come. And with a very lackluster run game, their main guy in Reggie Heaps has almost just as many fumbles as he does touchdowns. He's under 4 yards a carry. Akbar was scrambling around a little bit. We'll see Bayless do that as well. But really, they live or die by the passing game. Lane Thomas leads them. He's closing in on 700 yards, 8 touchdowns, 43 catches, but they go to quite a few different guys and expect to see all of them get involved. Defensively, they have a couple standouts as well. Tavita Luvu, the redshirt freshman, leads them with 56 tackles and wrecking teams' backfields as Santiago Cloud with 6 TFLs, 9.5 sacks. We're also going to see Vunocevic get back there as well with 6. They don't force very many turnovers, and their special teams has not been that good. But we helped ourselves out in the last offseason where we signed the transfer edge rusher in Rashad Lord. Last season, he had about 4 sacks on us and a pick that very much sealed the game. Not only did we take him from UW, we also kept him from going back to his home in Oregon. Now, he hasn't gotten very much playing time with us. We knew that would probably be the case, but he was very dominant for Washington, and perhaps today we try to get him out on the field a little bit more. So in his return to Seattle, we will be starting him at left end. That is still going to keep our starting edge rusher in Cassius Sampson in because he's been racking up a whole lot of plays in the backfield. Lord will try to get out there if anyone needs a breather, but he will see a little bit of a heavier workload today. And who we'll expect to see a lot more for the offensive side are the running backs. Dog and Thompson just came off a fantastic day. They lead all of the Pac-12 in rushing. And they're going up against a UW defense that has given up the 4th most amount of rushing yards. And this has been a game circled on the team calendar for about a year. A chance to revenge their postseason woes, as the loss last year took them out of it, especially with the loss to Oregon. It's the same 2 matchups back-to-back this year, as it will be the 14 where UW gets underway. And with a heavy pass attack, Lane Thomas expected to be the main guy here. Bayless, in just one of his few starts, he's had a really good time stepping in for the quarterback in Akbar and delivers a pass. It is Thomas with a big gain by midfield. A gain of 37 to open up the day. They get to the opposite 49 and then go with the run game that opens up until Marcock flies in. They are to find a way to get that running game going. It's going to have to come through success with the passing game. They used it there. They 2nd and 5. They flood the right side of the field, but it's Cantwell that wraps up Bayless. Going to be a loss of 4 on 2nd. And that's going to have to be the key to success today for the Cardinal. Get in the face of the young quarterback and force him into some mistakes. It's 3rd and 9. As they check down to the tight end and a falling defender will actually open up the play for about an extra 5. UW continuing their march here. Now down to the 33 as they convert the 3rd and short. With 1 to the left-hand side, 2 spread wide to the right. Ian Thomas playing that tight end role. As Bayless gets them set up, they go with the run to the outside. A pretty good one, about a gain of 6. Pretty sure Heaps is enjoying the open space to start the game. An empty set, but it looks like it's going to be a free first down. They get Kiki on the early jump. There'll be a free first down courtesy of Harulahu. They change up the look at the 22. Motion out Heaps to the right side. Look to set up a pass. Downfield and out of the back corner. Had their target as Asher missed on the swat, but the ball just a little bit too far downfield. 1st and 10, they swing it outside and a big hit Harulahu. They'll jar it away from Heaps. It's 3rd and 10. Rashad Lord out here as they get motion. Heaps. Lord with the rip. Rolling and tripping over the defenders goes Bayless. They're going to credit that sack to Sony Fotu. And it will force a field goal attempt here for the UW Huskies. And it's right down the middle. A very strong first drive as they open up the scoreboard 3-0, sending our Cardinal out onto the field. They had a phenomenal day running the ball last week. Expect that's where they get started here today. As Dog takes it left side, he loses 2. Craig Nixon, a local here, makes the tackle. 2nd and 12. Draft, he drops back and steps up to lose another yard. Amani Littlejohn credited with the sack. It's 3rd and 13 now. 2 spread either side, a hard count, no one jumps. They'll have to get this the conventional way or they'll take another sack. Kyle Kalis gets the credit there, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Stanford Cardinal. Not a very good start here for Coach Barrington's team. Defense going to head back out. Starting at the 45, they get motion. Quick flip it that way. It's the orbit screen, breaking 1 tackle. Marcock drags him down, but it's a gain of 5 for Prefontaine. Setting him up at the midfield logo. Passing to the left-hand side, they find Lane Thomas. And it's another first down for the Huskies. They're now down to the 39. Again, they get the hard count to work. Smith gets back on side. We send the blitz. Big hit. Tackle for a loss by Schlegel. They've looked for Heaps on a couple of those dump offs. Hasn't quite panned out yet. 2nd and 14. As they go with a draw. Cantwell quickly there. Another loss. And it'll set up a 3rd and 15. And it looks like it's going to be a better down and distance as they get former Husky in Lord to jump. They'll move them 5 yards closer. So now at the 38, it's 3rd and 10. 4 receivers come out to the right-hand side. 1 to the left, though. They're going to add Heaps behind that group. As they look to throw, they find their tight end. He's rumbling down to about the 21. Sam Everett, the freshman out of California, picks up another first down for the Huskies. And wide open outside, UW takes an early 2-score lead. This game has opened up near identically to how it did last year. Warrior with the catch and trot into the end zone. And with just 3 offensive plays for Stanford, it's not an exaggeration to say it's been all Huskies in this one. We start back at the 17 with motion. Hand it off to Moses, picks up a nice block and cuts up for 6. But in total, that well outgains our first possession where we just lost yards. 2nd and 4. It's going to be the triple option here. Flipping it out to Dog, who will truck through the safety to make sure that is a first. They're going to have to see a good, steady offensive drive here to regain composure. They're at the 28. Blouse in motion left side. They will look to throw the ball, or Draft will step up and scramble, sliding with a first down gain. He's got a lot of speed when he gets out into space. Not exactly the best acceleration in the backfield as we saw there. Handing it off to Dog, trucks through another defender and drags another 2 more for 6. That takes us to the end of the first quarter. Washington is up and in charge in this one, as they've had pretty much all the possession. Stanford only on their second They're down 10-0. As we get the second quarter underway here, we're starting just shy of the midfield line at the 48. Moses goes in motion. They flick it right back to him. Ran this play to start the drive, and a penalty comes in late. Looks like they're going to get holding on the backside. Not too sure how much that really affected the play, but it's going to affect the play thereafter. 2nd and 12 rather than a 1st and 10. Throw to the outside. They get Blausey, who's close to the first down marker. We're playing here in Seattle. They're not going to give it to him. It's 3rd and inches. Kramer out there at fullback. As they go to Dog, he runs through the DT and gets the first. Probably could have taken that a little bit wider in the gap. Still works out there on the plus side now at the 47. Throwing left side, they get Blausey. He's got another first down. He breaks a tackle, but not going to break away. Maybe a split second of a later reaction there by the corner, and that is a touchdown. It's at 1st and 10. They go to Dog, right side. He takes a strong hit. Not very many people have been able to put Dog on his own back. Typically, that's what he does. The 2nd and 7. Thomas checks in. It's going to be a play-action roll. They flip this to Aneni. Turns up, takes another big hit. They've got some hitters out on this team. We already saw last week how the running backs handled that. A couple fumbles. Luckily, most got called back. It's 3rd and inches. Dog's got the first down here inside the 20. And this is a drive they must capitalize on. Marked down at the 17 with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Throws it to the tight end, but all over it. Stanford loved to get their tight ends involved, though that time they lose for going their way. 2nd and 14. Let's look to pass the ball to the flat. They've got Moses, who will pick up the lost yardage, maybe an extra. That's going to leave them with a 3rd and 9 here at the 16. It's the ace formation, single high safety. They get motion left side is Blausey. Good coverage, though Aneni finds a little bit of space on the deep end. Cardinal find a way to extend that drive as they got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Pistol ace formation. Dog, the running back, he takes the carry, bouncing off some weak tackle attempts, but a flag came down as he broke that first tackle. This time, they're going to get the right tackle in a hollow with the hold. It's 1st and 10. Thomas checks in at running back. And Draft, he's going to keep it as he shakes out the safety, rolls over the defender, and in for a touchdown. Cardinal answer back following a long, methodical drive to make this 10-7. But now it's their defenses have got to come ready to play. Haven't had a good start. 2 scoring drives as they start with the run. Look for the cutback. Heaps picks up 3. So far, you could say this has been one of his better rushing days. Offensive line opening up a little bit more space for him as they go back his way. Thad Smith and Cassius Sampson. And that brings up our first opportunity here to get off the drive with a 3 and out. They motion out Heaps as they will look to throw the ball or taking a hit, bouncing off and then getting dropped. Cassius Sampson finishes the play. It was Cantwell that arrived first. They'll split that sack and end the drive. Offense takes over now at the 37. Just under 2.5 minutes before halftime and a prime opportunity to try to take a lead. And as they start with yet another TFL, Craig Mixon back in the backfield. It's 2nd and 11. 2-minute warning has come and gone. They got to find some better plays here. Pass downfield and Moses couldn't bring it down. He's been pretty good at high pointing those passes, just not able to. A quick 3rd down here. They need 11. As they look to throw under pressure, they had Moses. Both teams go 3 and out as Little John makes the play yet again. And the story today seems to be interior rush. That is what has caused the most amount of havoc. 1:47 for Bayless and the Huskies. With a quick throw to the outside, they find their freshman tight end. Everett has had a fantastic start to this game. We'll see how much more they look to go his way or if the Cardinal decide to change up their coverage. As everyone's sitting back in coverage here, he's got plenty of time. It was only a 3-man rush. Bailing to the outside goes Bayless. UW will call a timeout there following the gain of 7. That leaves them 2nd and 3 at the 48, a minute 14 and counting. With the pressure, Sampson delivers a big hit, but Everett holds on. Schlegel not quite able to jar that one free. It's a first down into plus side. Trips go to the right-hand side. Bayless looks to roll the opposite way and taking all the free yardage that Cardinal gave him. There's about 3 or 4 defenders that just sat there flat-footed. But they're down to the 30, taking inside 30 on the play clock. Pass right down the seam. They've got Everett, who takes it to the end zone. Huskies regain a 10-point lead as the defense has refused to show up in the first half. And again, that's exactly what happened last year. Defense didn't show up to the second half, so hopefully that happens. But with 21 seconds, offense takes the field as they look to make something happen themselves. They've got George Ball, and he high points it. First timeout called by the Cardinal. They've got to find a way to at least get a field goal here before the break. It's a good start with a lofted pass to the freshman receiver in Ball. They still got a lot of yards to cover here. The safety spread out. Draft looks like he sees something he likes. They make an adjustment for it. With a throw downfield, it comes up short. A little bit of a disappointing throw there from Draft. He has a decent arm to him. He just didn't uncork it there. With the speed of Ball, he definitely could have made something big happen. Under pressure, and it's a sack. Cardinal call a timeout there. They're all the way back at the 36, and they got 7 seconds left with a 3rd and 21. What are they trying to do here? Coach Barrington with the pressure coming in. Draft, he's just going to get sacked again. Now it's UW calling a timeout. With only a couple seconds left, they're going to force potentially a punt. Or Coach Barrington's just going to keep the offense out there with 3 seconds left. Just make sure you take up all the time or find a touchdown. As no time is left, a flag comes down. Lanier does not bring it down. But it does look to be a penalty on the defense, a late hit on Draft. It's not like they haven't had plenty of those already cleanly. But a free play here for the Cardinal. They go 4 spread with 2 to each side. Got to take advantage of the free play here. As they toss it downfield, it's Blouse and a 1v1, and he gets the touchdown. Cardinal with the free play. They find their 1,000-yard receiver from last year. He hasn't had as big of an impact this year, but that is a huge play to end this first half, making it a field goal game. And as the Cardinal will get the ball to start the second half, that is an absolute game changer. 17-14 as we head into the break. And yeah, Sam Everett, he's had a fantastic day, but pretty much everyone on the UW offense has. 5 catches for him, 88 yards. Lane Thomas has had a few big ones as well. Our offense a little bit slow to get going, but hopefully with that spark, we'll be able to find a little bit of a smoother go in the defense. That has got to be the big thing. They've got to step up. Offense bailed them out with a deep ball to Blouse. Now they need to step up and get some stops. Bayless has played a very clean first half, hasn't really forced any mistakes. We've left guys open. And if we're going to win this game, we have to have our defense show up. They don't have to come out here to start the second half, though. As mentioned, it's the offense. We start with Montreal Dog with a trucking spin move. He tried it again. He rumbles for 9. He averages 91 yards per game. Look for him to have a big second half, as hopefully the whole team will. Got the first down here, takes another shoulder from Diaby. And with that, we'll let him catch his breath with 2 nice runs. Thompson checks in with a power run to the outside. Thompson, a little bit of some speed. Tried to hit a cutback move there, whether it was a spin or a juke, couldn't quite tell. Dumped after a gain of 6. Dog gonna check back in right after. And upended, great play. I believe that is their second leader in the sacks. Vunocevic brings up a 3rd and 4 with 1 to either side. 2 tight ends right side. Motion is Moses as they will look to throw the ball. No one quite gets open. Draft tries to shake the sacks, but he does get dropped. It's Toby Kaiser, but it looks like Barrington signaling his offense to stay on the field. Hard count, and they get the DT to jump. That's going to make this a little bit more manageable. A big thank you to Little John, who's made plenty of plays in the backfield. Now 4th and 2, Thompson checks in. It's a shotgun look, and Draft is going to keep it. He gets the first down about to the 40. A pretty clear statement made there from Coach Barrington on how big he thinks this drive is for his team. Tight end open across the middle. They find Gomez, gain of 7. With Everett going to work on the other side, they've got to find a way to get their tight end a little bit more involved. 2nd and 3, it's Dog taking on the linebackers. He gains 2. Not exactly getting the biggest of gains here. They're going to need about 1.5 here on 3rd. They get a good double to linebacker. About another gain of 3 for Dog. And that gets them another fresh set of downs at the 39. 2 receivers go to the right-hand side as they go play action. Cutting the roll a little bit short. Gomez leaks out late, and he picks up 7 more. They're definitely keeping the passing game short, trying to be quick. That running game very much in that same step. As Draft scrambles, Vunocevic tosses him down, limiting that gain. It's 3rd and 3. 2 tight ends to the right-hand side. They go with a run to the weak side. Dog powers forward for the first. Gotta love how he's able to always squeak out that extra yard or 2. Down to the 28. They get Blouse in motion. Fake the jet sweep to him. They hand it off to Thompson. Only a gain of 2. Looks like they're trying to keep the defense honest while also spreading them out a little bit. Not as tight of a box here with 2nd and 8. Montreal Dog takes the handoff. He rolls through the middle linebacker, coming up about a yard short. And I'm pretty sure UW, as well as everyone in this stadium, knows exactly where the Cardinal want to go. Kramer comes out here in the strong eye. He helps lead the way. Montreal Dog with another first down run. Is keeping the grind going here as they're down to the 14. Thompson back in. Draft looks to keep it. He's not able to bounce it. If Moses gets that block, it's probably a house call for Gordon Draft. Instead, it's a loss of 4 and a 2nd and 14. As they do look to pass the ball. Short one to Gomez, about halving the distance. So from the 11, a 3rd and 8. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Drifting back in, throwing under pressure. Ball does not get there. And that saves them a little bit of time here. They bring out Ritter, the kicker. And he misses the chip shot field goal that would have tied this game. But that drive just took up the entirety of the 3rd quarter. But coming away with nothing does not help them out. They just have less time to try to take a lead. It will be UW's ball as we start the 4th quarter. They are up by 3. And it's our number 3 Cardinal that better come ready to play here in the 4th quarter. They start at the 20 following the missed field goal that ended the 3rd quarter. And there goes Heaps right down the middle with a first down. Not sure if it's just playing in Seattle or what, but Cardinal never quite play the same as the running game has been non-existent for this defense. Heaps yet again taking a first down carry for another first down. They're up to the 42 now as they go play action after that with a pass right across the middle. But Thad Smith was sat too far downfield. That really is the synopsis of the defense today. They haven't been that far off in their plays. They're just not making them. 1st and 10, handing it back off to Heaps. There's Cantwell to make the stop. They'll bring up a 2nd and 7. They're at the 34. About field goal range, though they struggled with those. A big tackle in the backfield as they sent the blitz. Thad Smith hits home. They'll push him back a little bit more and brings up a 3rd and 11. 2 spread either side as they look to set up the screen. They've got good blockers out in front. Schlegel chops him down. Will be a 4th and 4. Now their kicker has struggled this year, only about hitting on 66%, as he sends that one just wide to the right. It's the synopsis of field goals in this one. Coxie pushes it, and this stays 17-14. And if you're Coach Barrington, your offense taking over at the 31, you want to take up all this time here and walk away with a touchdown to win. Montreal Dog trucks through the safety. He's got a first down. And he's probably exactly the guy who will lead this team down the field. They are indeed letting that play clock run. They're going to take up time. Montreal Dog running through the linebackers, another 5. UW hasn't proved that they could fully stop him today. Running game is the way to go through. Use that to open up some passing, as they will look to do so here. Little dump off to Aneni. Will only give him one. The way 3rd and 4 then for the Cardinal. Bunch to the right-hand side. Hard count, no one jumps. As they will throw it to the outside, they find Lanier. He's got the first down, and he stays in bounds. That clock will continue to roll here for the Stanford Cardinal, as they're about at the 30-yard line. 2 tight ends sitting in the backfield here. They're going to motion Aneni. They'll look to use that as a bit of a smoke screen. They hand it off. Thompson takes it around the outside and picks up a gain of 9. He's checked in for a few good runs. They got a 2nd and 1. And they hand it off to Kramer, the tight end / fullback. He's down to the 13. Cardinal just chipping away at the yardage here and chipping away at that clock as well. Should be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Dog cuts through a couple different lanes opened up by the blocking. And they're down to the 5-yard line with a 2nd and 2. 2 minutes to go. 2 receivers go to left-hand side, but they hand it off to 32, who rumbles forward. And he is just shy of the end zone. I'll let some more time run off the clock here. Inside a minute and a half. It's goal line v. goal line. Cardinal rolling on top and into the end zone. Montrell Dog. We'll see if there's a review that comes in. That one was close. He was on top of the defender. But as it stands right now, the Stanford Cardinal have taken a lead here in Seattle. And the review booth gives us the thumbs up. It will stand 21-17, a minute 16, 3 timeouts remain. They got to find their way downfield as it's picked off Antonio Asher. It's going to be a pick 6 and a 2-score lead for the Stanford Cardinal. The senior corner finally gets his pick. It's been way too long. But now a 28-17 lead. They look to find Warrior, who had their touchdown earlier in the game, a 21-yard grab. It was his only catch and may only be his only catch. Well, the Cardinal finally getting ahead of the freshman quarterback and force him into basically his only mistake today. He'll still have time to try to make up for it a little bit. With the dump off, they go to Heaps. Timeout called. Well, with 1:01 left on the play clock, and you're down by 11 points, you're going to need a little bit more than 7-yard checkdowns. Empty set for him. Blocking holds up. They find Heaps outside. That's a much better game, though they call their second timeout. They've only got 1 more remaining as they're at the 45. Still 55 more yards to go. Quick throw, Asher beat by Warrior this time. Press coverage not quite working out. They're going to hurry back to the line and check it into the turf. Smart move by them to use that first down to stop the clock until they got back up there. Only a couple seconds tick off. 48 more remaining. As Bayless scrambles to the outside and throws it away. He could have stepped up. Time would have come off the clock, but they would be a little bit closer to the end zone. With a 3rd and 10, Cassius Sampson falls as he tried to grab the ankle. But Bayless will throw it away, and they'll send out Coatsy here for about a 45-yard field goal, and now he pulls it. That will end the game here for UW. Draft and the offense can come out here. They will kneel that clock, and it is a victory for the Stanford Cardinal. They barely managed to outdo the trap game here. UW played very good that first 2.5 quarters. We started to make a little bit more plays later on. The 3rd quarter didn't necessarily go well for anybody. They're going to give Draft the player of the game, but I think that goes probably to Montrell Dog or Asher, who had the game-sealing play with the pick 6. But arguably the best play was the free play, deep ball to Blouse, that drew this game close before halftime. But we finished 28-17. And ultimately, that draws us 1 game closer to our goal, which is to get back to the college football playoffs. And if we win the Pac-12 along the way, all the better. Right now, we are projected to have a first-round bye, where we would either be going up against NC State or Tennessee, so some tough teams in the Fiesta Bowl. But we're not there yet. First off, we've got to get by Oregon, and Oregon, after the Washington game last year, was the nail in the coffin for us on not achieving any of our goals of making it to the Pac-12 Championship or to the college football playoffs. So we must win these last 3 games. And each of these games will come with their own difficulty. Oregon, typically a really good team, they are 5-4 this year. We have Arizona. They're going to look to get revenge on us as we dropped the 24-0 goose egg on them last year. And then Notre Dame, the rivalry game. And today, we barely made it out with the win. Now, one thing to note is we didn't have that many offensive possessions. We had very long, drawn-out offensive possessions due to a really good running day for us. We had 35 carries, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, they had 15 for 51. They passed the ball pretty well, 232. We only had 172. The main thing I really felt like that this game came down to was indeed time of possession, where we had nearly 24 minutes and they barely surpassed 12. So we nearly doubled their time of possession, and that very much helped us out. Ultimately, the defense did not have a very good day. They struggled out there. They didn't get that much pass rush going as we typically expect. Good news for Cassius Sampson is he did still pick up half a sack, so his streak continues. Fotu had half a sack as well as Paschal. It was Cantwell with 1.5. As for Lord, he did not do too much in this one. He did get at least 1 tackle assisted. But heading into the next couple games, we will be going back to the typical lineup. Carlisle will be our starter at left end when it comes to the base packages, and of course Cassius Sampson in the rush scenarios. But next time, we've got an Oregon team who has not lived up to their overall. They are barely above 500 at a 90 overall, 89 offense, 91 defense. We need to show up a little bit better in that next one. This has very much become a rivalry, and you do not want to miss it. Make sure you hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down at the sub button and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with the Jags Tuesday and Thursday. And we'll be back next time in Palo Alto. We have 2 more home games remaining, Oregon and Notre Dame. And we've got to make sure we pick up wins in both of those games, get a couple more recruits in, and then we just have that 1 away game left against Arizona before, hopefully, we go to the Pac-12 Championship and to the playoffs.